Alright, good morning gamers and welcome back to the random talk that's not so random. We're gonna complete normal mode with 15 chaos rating. As you can see, here's the chaos rating. The last video we did, we completed insanity mode, which I will never do ever again in my entire life because that was actually gonna make me go crazy and crash out. We have the pistol on the precision, which is a 6 magazine pistol, pretty much turns into a revolver. And let's get straight into it. So what are we talking about? So Battlefield 6, Jagger Frags has talked about some issues with Battlefield 6 and why he feels that the longevity of the game is no longer there. And I'm here to say that I completely agree, which is part of the reason why I stopped playing the game to begin with, like a while ago. I am a Battlefield fan all the way through. Like, there's no doubt about that. I'm a Battlefield fan. But Battlefield tends to make a lot of very questionable decisions. Really, they do tend to try to make a lot of questionable decision making that kind of hurts this franchise. So what's going on now, right? Battlefield 6 is the first game in this entire franchise to really beat out Call of Duty for the first time. So why is the longevity going down? Why have they gone down to 100,000 player base on Steam and probably have lost a lot of the player base overall on all platforms? Right? Is it because of Arc Raiders? No, not really. Is it because of Call of Duty? Well, most certainly not, because Call of Duty is pretty much down in the dumpster on fire with lava on top of it, with also maybe like, I don't know, more dumpster on top of it, right? It's going down because of a few things. Map design. Map design is killing it. Playstyle. Forced playstyle is killing it. Community tab is ruining it. False promises is ruining it. Store-bought items is ruining it. Progression in the game is also ruining it. Okay? So let's talk about some of the core aspects that I think are important to Battlefield. Is both the play styles you play, the maps, and progression, right? So for one, maps. Why are maps ruining it? Well, they decided to go on to the small map, I don't know, craze. Now, nobody wanted Battlefield meets Call of Duty. This is what we never asked for. I feel like this is exactly what we asked Battlefield to never do, but they did it. So, small maps are ruining it. Why do we have small maps in the first place? Well, like Call of Duty, small maps are there to help force engagement. But Battlefield's identity has never been about forced engagement. It has always been about, like, playing the way you want to play, right? Well, when you force someone to engage, well, they're not really being able to play the way they want to play. They're kind of being forced to play this kind of arcade shooter, fast-paced shooter game. No one wanted that, okay? I'm gonna be real. No one really wanted that. I could not exactly tell you why they went down that route, but they did. I understand that 2042 64 versus 64 gigantic humongous maps was not the way, but I will also tell you that kind of thing was probably more fun. Now, reason why I think 2042 maps didn't really work out is because they really didn't spread out the objective points too far from the center enough, and that it felt more like, okay, we're still being kind of funneled into we're kind of still being funneled into the center of the map. So, but Battlefield has always been about the beauty of being able to hit like an extremely long shot on a sniper rifle, right? 2,000 meters plus, right? It's just something that is core to Battlefield. Battlefield sandbox has always been there. It's why Battlefield was made. Now, other than that, the other things about forced engagement, because of small maps also means that vehicle gameplay kind of becomes quite mundane. Instead of you kind of just being the big bad boy rushing in and you taking all the damage and killing everything in sight, you kind of become the and also you become the big bad little man, kind of, right? That kind of just eats up all the damage and does not too much in return. And effectively, that's kind of how a lot of vehicles get played. You kind of have to sit there and take the damage and, you know, pray that there's 5 engineers to help you out when you get hit with like 7,000 rockets, missile, anti whatever, right? And you know, you're really just dependent on your infantry. Previous Battlefield games, you kind of just rush in there, boom, like the Kool-Aid man, and everybody fears for their life, you know. But we don't have that kind of we don't really have that kind of playstyle anymore, to say the least. The maps kind of took that away from you. A good example of this is Eastwood. Eastwood new map is kind of a map that really took away that kind of vehicle, dominance, and it feels more like there is no vehicle dominance. A lot of the vehicle gameplay, I feel like whenever I play Eastwood, is not entirely that impactful. I feel like they also get blown up very quickly because of that. And then Blackwell Oil Farms, which is kind of the alternative to it, feels more like, okay, well, once we get rid of like 7,000, breakable, cover, it becomes just a vehicle all-out warfare, which I think also doesn't really help. Oh, I'm missing shots. Can I hit it? I'm missing so many shots that the enemy's missing shots. Really. But yeah, Blackwell Farms just becomes like also kind of just that vehicle all-out warfare with no cover as a infantry, and then it feels terrible to play infantry. On top of the fact that they're both small maps, right? Then Battlefield also likes to add in these small map game modes that no one asks for. No one wants to play 4v4. No one wants to play 8v8. Those suck, man. They actually really do suck. Okay. So, map design. All design about forced engagement does not help the game. Then you also have what do you have? You also have the progression system in the game. Progression system sucks, man. You have to do like 1,000 kills every single time just to get you have to do like 1,000 kills just to do what is it? To get some like mastery challenges on the guns, and then that takes forever. Plus the low amount of XP you get per game. You know, like the XP doesn't feel like it's all that impactful, right? Which also affects your playstyle, because then your playstyle is there to just try to grind as many kills as possible. which also forces engagement, right? Like you see how this all kind of surrounds on both increasing gameplay playtime, right? And also increasing engagement to make the game look like it's actually doing something, when it's really just it's all kind of just artificial. Unlocking new weapons, like the weapons that they add like for the season, is ridiculous. I don't think anyone wants to sit there and keep on doing challenges for guns that they don't care about, or having to play with guns that they never played with before because they don't care about playing with revolvers just to unlock the new revolver that they will still never play with just because it's new content, right? Like it creates that kind of like it creates that kind of dynamic, which I think that never did. Okay. What was I say? Did I not increase? Did I not include the full auto? I did. Which, you know, the challenges are there to help people play the game more, right? Then and then you gotta play with guns that that no one cares about, just to make it look like the content they're adding in actually matters. And then no one really plays the new content that much, right? I don't know. It's like, holy smokes, man. Can we just get a Battlefield again? A Battlefield game? Then Jack Frags talked about like these store-bought items, which, you know, I never really buy any store-bought items from Battlefield really ever, but the store-bought items do suck. It seems kind of fantastical, low effort. I'm not gonna go for any of those. I'm not gonna lie to you. And just, you know, a lot of people just shit talked it. I think they even had to remove something one time from the store because of how bad it was really being received. Yo, how many times am I gonna get this thing, bro? Then what else? What else is kind of like the issue with Battlefield 6? Oh yeah, the community tab. The community tab is suckish also. It's really just a bunch of XP farms because the XP in the game sucks to get. All the actual good content like Jack Frags be trying to report on, like the you know, Call of Duty terminal being in the game, and, you know, bigger maps being in the game, which is it like it doesn't really get done anywhere because of the fact that like it's overshadowed by all of these other like bullshit in the community tab. Not to mention, I don't think most people even know about the community tab to begin with. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. And then gunplay is whatever, right? It's whatever. I don't have much to say about gunplay because just simply because I just feel like gunplay doesn't provide much value in general. Like I think them making LMGs OP was like kind of the wrong move. ARs still kind of are underwhelming. SMGs are kind of like not underwhelming, but they're just not really as fun anymore because of the nerfs. Shotguns are still shotguns, right? Nothing new to be said there. I hate this spot so much, man. I'm trying to think of what else in Battlefield. I mean, I'm not trying to like nitpick. I'm trying to like actually care about like things that are kind of important, right? Oh, RedSec. RedSec is kind of a disappointment. I think most people can kind of say RedSec is a lot more underwhelming than we think. I think the best part of RedSec is still Gauntlet, but the content is just lackluster, right? I mean, Jack Frags talked about it. It's like, you know, in one season we get 2 maps only and like 4 guns. 4 guns. And we still have to wait for a whole nother season. I may actually have to just start hitting this thing with a grenade. Hold on, let me see if I can hit it with the grenade before it goes into. There we go, second phase. Oh snap. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, like, I feel like I've touched on most of the main stuff about Battlefield 6. Really. There's really not much stuff I really complained about. Like, I don't know. I think Jack Frags also kind of highlighted a lot of things I also complained about that I foresaw very early on. And, you know, the thing about Jack Frags, right, is he's a Battlefield believer, right? He's always going to believe in Battlefield becoming one of the best games to ever exist, to ever grace the market. Which, there was a time. There was a time. You see how that doesn't connect like this? I'm supposed to be able to hit it right there. It doesn't connect. Can we fix that, please? If you're watching this, you know, I don't know. Void Breaker, devs, fix connection on staggered enemies. Really? I am, if you're wondering, I'm still trying to think of something else. I don't think there's really much more to say about Battlefield 6. I've covered most of the main things that Battlefield has ever, like, you know, based itself upon, you know, being maps, being playstyle, being a sandbox, being easy progression, being, you know, absolutely just doing whatever you want to do. See, and now it works. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm not tweaking about this. Being able to just do what you want to do. Vehicles being absolutely entirely fun things to play with, right? And here we are in Battlefield 6, where 80% of the player base left for some odd reason. Well, I shouldn't say some odd reason, because of the fact that they've decided to make decisions that is not what the Battlefield 6 or Battlefield community really wants. And we'll kind of just have to see what happens going forth. Oh my god, I staggered it before I could do that bullshit attack. Alright, let's kill this thing. Hey, 80. Okay, hold on. Hold on, brother. Half health. Half health. Oh my god. Come on, die, brother. Can you die? Can you do me a favor and die? Right. Let's get to the next zone. Real quick. Let's get to the next zone. Right. Bada bing, bada boom. And let's summarize up this video real quick. Alright, so to top all off, Battlefield 6 has been kind of ruining their own video game with their own decision making, lack of promises, or bigger maps. Haven't done that. Progression feels artificially long. Terrible. Map designs have kind of forced some kind of gameplay style that I don't think a lot of people like to play. Community tab sucks. Store stuff sucks. Weapon playstyles are in a terrible position. I feel like like I said, LMG should not be just the most OP thing ever. I haven't even really touched upon like classes and how they're, you know, the gadgets each class has is questionable. Like, you know, like the crate shouldn't be both the med crate and the ammo crate together with a long cooldown. That sucks. Vehicle gameplay kind of just doesn't really feel like vehicle gameplay at all. OBJs are just too close together where it just feels like it's, you know, too easy to just keep the slaughter fest keep going. Which I've kind of put to as artificial engagement, which sucks. Nobody wants to feel like they're forced to engage combat just so that it looks like there's players playing. I don't know. Bots is whatever. To be honest, I don't really care about bots that much. And I just think that that's it. The style of the game is also kind of going down a little bit of a fantasy route, I feel. I think we gotta bring it back to like a Medal of Honor kind of game, you know? But other than that, that's my main complaints about Battlefield 6. And I'm sure I'll talk about it again in some random talk because Battlefield is my beloved franchise that I played for many years. I played Battlefield 3, played Battlefield 4. Favorite game I was Battlefield 1. Played Battlefield 5, you know, one of the worst games I probably did play in the franchise. Played 2042, which I sunk probably more time into than I should have. And Battlefield 6, the first Battlefield, I actually quit. I'll see you all in the next morning. Love y'all. Catch me in the streams. And that's it from me.